So when it comes to learning English, one of the most important things that you need to know how to do is being able to introduce yourself. And that's because anytime you meet somebody for the first time, you'll have to be able to introduce yourself. So that's at a job interview or meeting somebody for the first time at a party. Now, with that in mind, today I'm going to talk about 3 things that if you keep in mind, it'll make your English sound more smooth and make you sound more like a native speaker. The first thing I want to talk about is when somebody's trying to say, 我是台湾人, think about it for a second. How would you say that in English? Some things that I'll hear a lot of the time is people will say, I'm a Taiwanese, or I'm a Taiwanese person. Now, if you think about it, like directly translating it from Chinese, that makes sense. But usually if you're a nationality that ends with "-ese", like Chinese, Japanese, or Vietnamese, we usually won't put or "an" in front of it. In those kinds of situations, we'll just say, I'm from Taiwan, or I'm Taiwanese. Let's take a look at a situation where somebody from Taiwan introduces themselves. Hey guys, I'm Tom, and I'm from Taiwan. So right here, when he was introducing himself, he said, I'm from Taiwan. He could have said, I'm Taiwanese too. Either one of those works. The next thing I want to talk about is when we talk about our brothers and sisters in English. So for example, if I say, I have 5 brothers and sisters, that doesn't mean 我有5个哥哥弟弟5个姐姐妹妹. It just means 我有5个兄弟姐妹. Now, I know in Chinese people don't say it that way, but in English, that's how we'll say it. Now, let's take a look at this sentence. 我有1个哥哥3个弟弟. In this kind of a situation, I'll just say, I have 4 brothers. So I won't really necessarily distinguish who's older and who's younger, because in English, we won't really do that. Let's say somebody wants to say, 我有2个姐姐1个哥哥. In this situation, they would just say, I have 2 sisters and a brother. Now, there are some situations where we do specify who's older or younger than us in our family. So for example, if somebody directly asks you, are you the oldest? They're just saying, are you the oldest child in your family? In that situation, you would answer them. Or if they say, are all of your brothers and sisters older than you? Then again, you would answer them. It would look something like this. Do you have any brothers and sisters? Yeah, I have 4 brothers. Oh, are they all older than you? One of them is, but the other 3 are younger than me. Another situation is if you're talking to a little kid and they want to specify that they're the older brother, like in this situation. Who's that over there? Oh, that's Jake. He's my little brother. So right here, because that kid's little, he really wants to let you know, I'm older, I'm bigger. And that, to kids, that's really important. But with adults, we usually don't specify whether we're older or not unless somebody else asks us. The next thing is if you list a bunch of things that you like to do, one thing you can do to sound a little bit more smooth is instead of saying, I like to, and then the activity. So for example, I like to swim. I like to eat. I like to hang out with my friends, right? What you can do instead is get rid of the to and then take the activity and add an ing on it. So for example, if it's I like to swim, you would get rid of the to and it would be I like, and then on the end of swim, you would add ing. And the whole thing would look like this. I like swimming. And so when you list a bunch of things, it'll look something like this. What kind of stuff do you like to do? I like eating, sleeping, going to see movies, hanging out with my friends, you know. So see how he just said, I like, and then he would say the activity with ing? It just sounds smoother that way. And notice when he goes, that's usually the tone of voice that we'll use when we list things off. It's kind of like if somebody says, 我很喜欢披萨, and they have that at the end of it in Chinese. That's how we do it in English. I like running, sleeping. If you do that, it'll sound a lot more like a native speaker. So, just remember, if you want to say, 我是台湾人, say, I'm from Taiwan or I'm Taiwanese. If you're talking about your brothers and sisters, don't worry about saying whether the sibling is older or younger than you, unless they specifically ask you. And then if you're talking about a bunch of things that you like to do, and it's like a list of things, what you can do is just get rid of the to and then add an ing and have that tone on it. So I like swimming, running, eating, hanging out with my friends, going to see movies. And I know, like, watching this video, you may be thinking, those are really small details. But when it comes to learning a language, it's learning those small details that make the biggest difference in making you sound more like a native speaker. So those are 3 things that'll help a ton when it comes to introducing yourself in English. If you have any questions, just send me an email. If you like this video, click on the link below and fill out your email, and I will send you free content just like this in the future.